3 times a week, a woman over 50 sits in my chair and says the same thing. I've given up on foundation. She's tried everything. It all made her look drier, 10 years older, more tired. She thinks it's her fault. It's not. I've been a makeup artist in Hollywood for 30 years. I'm 53 myself, but here's what surprised even me. I scored 10 popular foundations on real mature skin, and most of them failed completely. A few earned it, and one changed how I think about foundation for this skin entirely. Number 1, IT Cosmetics CC Cream, 0 out of 10. I know. Everyone and their mother loves this product, and I understand why if your skin is still young and bouncy, but on skin in your 50s and 60s, this formula is unkind. It grabbed onto every dry patch and sat there like it was holding on for dear life. It highlighted pores instead of softening them, and within an hour it had crawled into every fine line on this woman's face and made each one look deeper than it actually was. The reviews you're reading online are overwhelmingly from women with completely different skin. If your skin runs dry after menopause and you've been wondering why this cult favorite doesn't work for you, it's because it wasn't made for you. On skin that's lived, this CC cream is an instant no. But the next foundation on this list did something I was not expecting. Number 2, Too Faced Born This Way, 7.5 out of 10. I underestimated this one going in. Too Faced has always felt young and playful to me. Lots of glitter and sweet packaging. Not exactly the brand I'd reach for on a 60-year-old actress, but the Born This Way formula surprised me on skin over 50. It hydrates without getting slippery. It smooths without looking waxy or fake. Coverage is medium, but it layers beautifully without fighting you. And it handled both breakouts and fine lines without calling attention to either one. If you've been struggling with foundations that grab onto every wrinkle and crease and make them look worse, this does the exact opposite. It softens everything. I was happy to be wrong about this brand. One of the best options I've tested for skin in your 50s and 60s, and the price is reasonable. Now this next one is the one that actually hurt. Number 3, Laura Mercier, 0 out of 10. This one genuinely stung because I have recommended this brand for years. The tinted moisturizer was iconic for a reason, but this foundation on mature skin told a completely different story. Instead of smoothing and softening, it emphasized every single wrinkle. Skin looked dry, creased, and honestly about 5 years older than when we started. I applied it 3 separate ways thinking I must have done something wrong. I hadn't. The formula simply does not work on skin with real texture and real postmenopausal dryness. If you're 30 and your skin is plump and hydrated, you'll probably love it. On skin over 50, it's a disappointment I'm still processing, and I gave it the same score as IT Cosmetics because it earned the same result, nothing. After 2 zeros in 3 products, I needed something that just showed up and worked. Number 4, Benefit, 6 out of 10. Benefit did what Benefit always does. It showed up and it worked. It smoothed out pores in a way that actually looked filtered on camera, which is incredibly hard to pull off on skin with real texture. The finish is matte, and I know that word is terrifying if your skin runs dry, but this formula somehow manages a polished look that doesn't go chalky or parched on you. It sat nicely on the skin, it didn't crowd the deeper lines around the mouth, and it held up through a full day without separating around the nose. Like pretty much everything this brand makes, it's solid, it's reliable, and it's worth what you paid for it. Not a miracle worker, but a dependable 6. Sometimes that's exactly what you need, if only the next one had been that reliable. Number 5, Clinique Even Better, 2 out of 10. The name writes a check the formula cannot cash. It felt uncomfortable the second it touched skin. Almost itchy, which is a word that should never be associated with something you're wearing on your face for 8 hours. On camera, it looked crusty, particularly around the nose and mouth where skin over 50 needs the most help and the most grace. And the shade range is completely off. Everything pulled too warm or too ashy, and nothing landed where it should have on this woman's skin. I kept trying to work with it, and it kept refusing to meet me halfway. 2 points because Clinique has built decades of goodwill, but this particular product did not show up for this skin. Really disappointing from a brand that should know better. Now remember at the beginning when I said one foundation changed how I think about this skin entirely? This is that foundation. Number 6. Luxe Color Changing Foundation, 10 out of 10. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning. I was skeptical the first time someone handed it to me. A foundation that changes color to match your skin? Sounds like a late-night infomercial, but I tried it on a client in her 60s with dry skin, deep marionette lines, and crepey texture around the eyes and jaw. and I watched it disappear into her skin, not sit on top into. The color shifted and matched her tone within seconds. You just pick light or medium and the formula reads your skin and adjusts. No oxidizing orange by noon, no mismatched jawline. It blurred her pores and fine lines the way good natural lighting does, and the formula is so lightweight she kept touching her face because she didn't believe anything was on it. This was built specifically for mature skin, and you can feel that in every part of the formula. It doesn't settle into lines, it doesn't cake on dry patches, and it never gives you that heavy mask feeling by afternoon. It's your skin, but better. That's exactly what it delivers. Nothing more and nothing less. I reach for this first now every time a woman over 50 sits down in my chair. It's actually cheaper on Amazon than anywhere else I've found, so I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to try it. It's a best-selling foundation on Amazon right now, but we are not done. There are still 4 foundations to get through, and the next one might be the most frustrating of all. Number 7, Dior, 2 out of 10. Luxury price, luxury packaging, and I expected luxury results. Did not get them. This formula went on heavy from the first stroke, and not in a comforting, full coverage way. More like it was sitting on the surface, waiting to cause problems. Within 30 minutes, it had found every crease and decided to stay. The forehead lines, the smile lines, the marionette lines around the mouth, all of them deeper and more visible than before I'd touched her face. The overall effect was more texture and more tiredness than when we started. If anything, skin looked older with this foundation on than it did completely bare. I have prepped women for press events under the most unforgiving studio lighting in the world, and I would never put this on anyone over 45. For what Dior charges for this bottle, there is no excuse. Avoid it. Now, after that disaster, I want to show you what a luxury foundation can actually do when the formula is right. Number 8. Armani Luminous Silk, 8 out of 10. If price is not a concern for you, this foundation is beautiful. I have used it on film sets and red carpets for well over a decade, and it rarely disappoints me. The finish is luminous without crossing into shiny territory, and on skin over 50, it manages to look fresh and healthy without magnifying texture or pores. Application is smooth and forgiving. It lasts from morning through evening without turning heavy or separating, and it photographs like a dream even under the harshest close-up studio lighting I've ever worked under. HD cameras are brutal, and this formula handles them gracefully. The only reason it didn't score higher is the price tag. Not everyone can justify that kind of investment for daily foundation, but for events, for photos, for any day where you want to feel truly exceptional, this is one of the finest foundations I have ever put on any skin type. And then there's the product that let me down the most. Number 9, NARS, 2 out of 10. This was the single biggest disappointment of the entire test, and that includes the 2 zeros. I have used NARS products on film sets for years, and I've always respected their color work. But this foundation on skin over 50 simply refused to cooperate. It did not blend in. It clung to the surface like a layer that didn't belong there, almost like a mask you can't quite take off. Within minutes, the smile lines looked deeper and the under-eye area looked crepey and tired. Every fine line around the mouth and the eyes became more visible instead of less, and the overall complexion looked flat, dull, and noticeably older. I prepped a woman for a photo shoot the next day and tried it one more time, just to be fair, and the result was the same. Of all 10 products, this is the one where my expectations were highest and the letdown was the steepest. I wanted it to be a winner. It wasn't even close. After that, I needed to end this test on something that actually respects this skin. Number 10, House Labs, 7 out of 10. Celebrity beauty lines have burned me before, so I went in cautious on this one. But Lady Gaga's team got this formula right, and I'll give credit where it's earned. This foundation is lightweight and buildable, which is the exact combination skin in your 50s and 60s needs. You can sheer it out for an everyday errand run or layer it up for a dinner, and it refuses to get cakey either way. The finish is a soft satin that reads as skin on camera, not as product sitting on top of skin. It stays where you put it. It doesn't migrate into your nasolabial lines by lunchtime or separate around the nose by late afternoon. I wore this on my own skin for a full week because I wanted to see how it held up outside of a studio, and it felt comfortable from morning to night every single day. If you want something forgiving and genuinely pretty without any fuss, House Labs belongs on your shortlist. A strong 7 and one of the top picks out there for this skin. Your skin was never the problem. It never was. Out of 10 foundations, 5 of them failed, and only 1 scored a perfect 10. Now you know which ones to skip, which ones are worth your money, and the one that might just change how you think about foundation after 50. Thank you for sitting through all 10 with me.